as the Mandela Effect. Our 2020 event will be held online this year, June 20th to the 26th, and will be available for absolutely free both on our website at imec.world, that's imec.world, as well as the International Mandela Effect Conference YouTube page. For more information, please visit imec.world. Together we go, together we grow.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Business owners, entrepreneurs, and everyone working from home. Smart Home is temporarily shifting their business, so they're a resource for anyone struggling with working at home. Smart Home is offering free phone tech support to small businesses and individuals in their service area. They know many people are now working from home, and children have started their classroom work as well.
This could mean slower Wi-Fi.
These are trying times, and Smart Home is here to help. Call them today, 203-659-4734, and Smart Home can solve your problem.
Here's some sound advice. Don't buy a new car with an old radio. Make sure it's got HD radio. Hear more stations and CD quality sound with no monthly fees. Be sure the car you're buying is fully equipped. Ask your dealer about HD radio. Discover it at hdradio.com.
Where are you? Are you in bed? Or are you leaving the first human footprint on Mars? Are you jogging? Or are you about to pull off the heist of the century? Are you in your car? Or are you praying those red eyes in the darkness can't see you? A voice in your ear can take you anywhere.
Audible. Get your first audiobook for free and feel every word. $7.99 a month after 30-day trial. Starts automatically. Terms apply.
probably get the hold music, which is, I think, some acoustic guitar. It was the least annoying hold music to choose from in the menu. And then, it depends on how long you're on hold. If you're on hold for 15 minutes, you're going to hear my voice come on and say, to continue holding, press 1. And then you stay on for another 15 minutes, and I will say, to continue holding, press 2. And this keeps you in the call queue. And so you know you're about to be on the air when suddenly your call is answered and you're hearing the show audio. That's how you know you're about to be on, just like I just grabbed a call. And so that caller now, even though the channel is not turned up here, they are hearing the show audio because now I've got their call. They're on the line. So just stand by. When you call the number, look, I've got the capability now of having up to 75 people on hold at one time. It's really, really cool. The other phone system did not give me that ability, but we've got the capacity to have up to 75 people on hold at one time. And while you're on hold, you're going to be hearing that acoustic guitar hold music until I figure out how to get the stream on there. But once you hear that hold music, just stay in line. Just stay right. You're in the right place. Okay. And then just wait for me to grab your call. We'll get you on the air with our guest tonight, Marilynn Hughes. She, in her bio here, it says, Casey Armstrong, former producer of the Howard Stern Show, named Marilynn as one of 13 simply amazing women that he featured in his May 2020 book. You know, I don't know who the other 12 were, probably also very amazing women. Marilynn Hughes is something else. I mean, she knows her stuff in a way that is absolutely next level. And she's a pleasure to talk to, and I would encourage you to call up and give her a question. You must have questions now. This is what a talk show is all about. This is, not really a podcast in the sense that podcasts are sort of a couple of people for a few hours and then that's it. This is a interactive talk show, which means I want to hear your voice. I want to hear you. Taking calls is one of the treats of the program. And, my guests love that aspect of coming on the show. They look forward, believe it or not. Everybody that I have on the show, they ask me, so are we going to take calls? And they love that aspect of it. So I hope that helps. I'm going to try to clear up any confusion there might be about calling the show in the weeks ahead. And let's just proceed here. Again, in the Looking Glass, there are a lot of good questions coming in there. But if you are not a subscriber and you don't have access to the Looking Glass, well, you can place a call and get on the air and get your question that way. So let us proceed. Welcome back. Marilynn, you ready to take some calls?
I am ready.
I bet you are. All right. Let's go to the phone here. And on the phone, you're on the air with Marilynn Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Is this me?
It sure is. It's you.
Oh, yes. Hello, Heather. And Marilynn, I love your books.
Thank you so much.
This is going to sound crazy, but I'm talking to a witch and a mystic, so this won't sound crazy.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, you're in the right place. Yeah, you're absolutely in the right place here.
It's dawned on me that I've been going out of body and mistaken it just for vivid dreams. The last one was really surprising. I was flying. I'm from Salt Lake City, and I was out flying, and it was just so real. And I ended up over this big building complex south of Salt Lake City, and I found myself in a electronic magnetic Faraday cage over this building.
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on me it was the NSA building.
Oh, you mean the big Utah data center?
Yes.
That's where the servers for this show actually reside.
Oh?
Yeah. Yes, it's true. Yeah.
And the more this went on, the realer it got. And it was 3 levels of this electromagnetic magnetic Faraday cage, and I was kind of herded out of it. There was you could enter, but the only way out was through a small opening in the 3rd Faraday cage, and I flew out, and I'd been chased out by these beings, and it was the most real thing I ever did. And the next morning I realized, I think that was the NSA, and I don't believe that was a dream. It was just too real.
God, how strange and unique. Yeah, you're most certainly in the right place. Marilynn, can we help him understand what happened to him there?
Well, I'm not sure. I think that he definitely was having a semi-conscious experience of something, possibly in the astral realm. He was flying over there. The Faraday cage indicates he was probably in an area that is not okay for the NSA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of why he was chased out, that might be why. But I think we can conclude that you had a semi-conscious astral experience. You're in the astral realm. You were probably chased out by some type of non-physical entity, and it had to do with the fact that it was the Faraday cage, which would be governmental related. I think it's interesting that you were drawn to that particular location.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had experiences before like that? And is there any reason why you would be drawn to a government location like that? Do you have any previous experiences that?
Not like that. I've been to the void.
Okay.
And that was, it wasn't scary at all. It was just interesting.
Okay. Okay.
I woke up, I've had that, I think my first out of body was a little unnerving. There was somebody in the room, and I had the paralysis and everything, and I'd gone, I said a prayer, went back to sleep. The second one was that rumble, that vibration, like a jet airplane was near my wall.
Okay. Okay.
And then when it settled down, the room went kind of a bluish hue in the middle of the night, so I knew I was out of body.
Okay. Okay.
But my flying dreams, and I've had many of them, but this one became vivid. I became more aware as it went on. And
so you went kind of from semi-conscious to very conscious, and that can happen as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it dawned on me, I thought, well, that was weird, and then it dawned on me that was that big NSA building.
Well,
and I'd heard that goes on around Area 51, and I'd heard it goes on around the White House. I've talked and listened to a few people. Robert Monroe was one, and I think I talked to another fellow that there is installations you're not supposed to be near, and they're protected.
Right.
Right.
So.
I've heard this before, too. That's what I can't get out of my mind now. How and why, excuse me, our government has installations that are protected in this way. This is a very wild way, Marilynn, to protect government assets. Doesn't that strike you as kind of odd?
Not sure what you mean. Psychically?
Well,
to be psychically protecting them?
Yeah. I mean, our
I guess it doesn't surprise me. No, but that would be because the Faraday cages, from my understanding, goes all the way back to the 50s and the 60s with the remote viewing and all that stuff. And, I think that, both the communist countries and the United States, we've had this awareness that there are people who have the ability to psychically penetrate certain things like this for, a pretty good long time. So I'm not surprised by that. Ironically, too, I have heard more cases recently of people who are having these types of astral experiences involving government installations about things that are going on that are very unclear. I'm not sure that, I'm not sure that we're going to really know exactly what that is, but I think there's something to it, because I've heard this from quite a few people. And it seems interesting. Is kind of why I'm wondering and asking the caller about what is drawing people subconsciously to these targets. Is there something in particular? And it seems like there's something else to me.
Really? Well,
it does, because there seems to be no innate or inherent thing that I'm hearing from any of the people who have shared these things with me that would draw any of them in particular to these targets. They're just in kind of randomly being taken there.
It's like drawn like a magnet.
Yes.
That's odd.
And that's kind of why that's kind of why the question of, is there anything that would, any background that would draw that? And none of the people who have had these experiences seem to have anything other than a magnetic draw of some kind. It's almost like there's some kind of mystery to that.
Well, let me run this one past you. What about Astral Streisand effect?
I'm not sure what that's.
Okay.
Tell me what that is.
Okay. So, the Streisand effect is when you're trying to have something not be noticeable by telling people, don't notice this, and then everybody notices it. In the simple act of it's a real sort of catch-22 type of thing. So, okay, if the government has agents of some sort that are energetically protecting certain areas, maybe they are out-of-body experiencers themselves, maybe they're very talented remote viewers, maybe they're very talented psychics of some sort, and these very skilled people are putting their skills on protecting, let's say, the big Utah data center. And then you've got folks like our caller, other people who are experiencing out-of-body travel, who are experiencing a higher state of consciousness. They get out of their body, whether they realize it or not. And because these installations are so protected, they are drawn to them, and they just quite don't know why. Maybe it's the severe protection itself that is drawing people like a magnet. Because, look, humans, we can't resist a mystery. We can't resist a secret. We have to uncover it wherever those secrets are. And everybody would love to know what kind of secrets the government's sitting on, right? I mean, this is the age of conspiracy here. So maybe he's to it for spiritual Streisand effect. They're trying to cover it up, and people are, being drawn to it anyway, and in great number.
I think that could definitely be the case as well. Certainly just as, energy is like that. So certainly, people could be, naturally drawn by, that kind of an effect. But there's also the possibility, in some of the cases that have been shared with me, also seem to have, when something is indicative of possibly something that might be potentially coming to pass that could have some kind of importance, then it could be brought to the attention of souls who are, it's being brought to their attention because of that importance. And so that would be of like some type of eternal importance, whether it's a negative thing or a positive thing, whether it's some type of world event or evolutionary event or some type of coming event, even coming in the that might even be related to some of these apocalyptic events that we are also kind of seeing that are coming in the next 10 to 15 years. And some of the things that have been seem to be of that nature. And so I think you could have a little bit of both for sure. So I think definitely, because what you're saying is absolutely true. There is a bit of a magnetic effect because energy does that for sure. But there's also that draw that when something becomes the eternal nature of something, that people will be made aware if it is important that they are made so for some type of reason, that we may not know yet.
Yeah.
We may not know yet.
Maybe there's some secret there, or in all of these installations that people are drawn to, government installations that are being somehow psychically protected, and people are being drawn to them. Perhaps those secrets need to come out. As you say, it happens in the energy before it happens on the ground. Perhaps the energy is, it certainly seems to be a trend for this year. Perhaps the energy is that these, whatever secrets they are, need to come out. And so people are drawn in their spiritual body to these locations where the secrets are held because they want to come out.
Right, that's possible. Well, and it's also, the caller may just have a natural gift that is starting to develop, a very natural gift, even in the sense of remote viewing, you know what I mean?
It's all soul work.
He may very well not just be experiencing the astral travel, but he may be developing something in the area of remote viewing unintentionally or, intentionally or otherwise, because the interesting nature of the targets, which are all very related to remote viewing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely right. Yeah, and you did say earlier that when you start doing any of this, all of this, that things are going to start to happen.
Yes,
things are going to start to happen. Excuse me. And here we have definitely something happening. Excuse me. I breathed wrong again. The phone lines are open, and we'll be right back. I'm here, standing by, operator standing by to take your call if I can learn how to breathe. All right, I'm Heather Wade.
Music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Business owners, entrepreneurs, and everyone working from home. Smart Home is temporarily shifting their business, so they're a resource for anyone struggling with working at home. Smart Home is offering free phone tech support to small businesses and individuals in their service area. They know many people are now working from home, and children have started their classroom work as well.
This could mean slower Wi-Fi.
These are trying times, and Smart Home is here to help. Call them today, 203-659-4734, and Smart Home can solve your problem.
Honey, you built a beautiful fire.
Yeah, piece of cake. Just rub two sticks together.
You're the man, rubbing sticks.
Yeah, rubbing sticks. I'm lying.
What?
I didn't use two sticks.
I know. You used your cool new Zippo utility lighter.
Well, how come you let me go on about it?
Because I wanted you to feel like the man.
Yep, I'm the man.
You're the man.
Yep.
Oh, and you have a spider on your shirt.
Oh, get it off me. Get it off.
Spiders are scary, but Zippo's rugged new outdoor line has everything you need to start a fire.
It's just a fuzzy.
Oh, get that off, too. No, it's a spider.
Fuzzy.
The night is alive. Join us and take a walk on the weird side when you tune in to the Kingdom of Nye, hosted by Heather Wade, the finest in late night talk. Listen live free weeknights starting at 9 p.m. Pacific time at thekingdomofnye.com, talkstreamlive.com, and the Paranormal Radio app. Wanna take a ride?
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
The following is a real call placed to OnCar in October of 2011.
This is your OnCar advisor. What's your emergency? Hello, can you hear me? Sir, if you can hear me, I have your GPS location pinpointed on Thomas Road in Middletown. I'm sending help, okay? Just keep calm. I'm gonna have to unlock your doors for the authorities, okay? No! Sir, remain calm. I have to unlock the doors. Everything is gonna be okay. Hello? Sir, can you hear me? Is anyone still there?
There's something in the air, lurking, waiting for your arrival at the Land of Illusion Haunted Scream Park in Middletown. Everyone who comes to the Land of Illusion gets unlimited access to 6 haunted events that last well into the night for only one low price. Located I-75, exit 34. Get your discounted coupons right now at landofillusion.com.
Sir, can you hear me?
Broadcasting around the world.
Another incentive on all of this. Welcome back, Marilynn. What would you say? I mean, have you encountered some animal spirits on your travels?
Oh my gosh, yes. And you are also able to meet and interact with your power animals, your medicine animals, and things like this, which is really a powerful experience. But I've also had beautiful experiences with some of my deceased pets, really beautiful experiences, and with a lot of different creatures and animals in different realms. But, I think one of the really beautiful things about the animal spirits is meeting your medicine animals and meeting various creatures who are these higher manifestations of animals. Like, for instance, I have a white-winged horse by the name of Saint Harmony Crystal Fire, who takes me flying to different realms in different spheres of existence. And this white-winged horse is of a different caliber of being than simply a horse as we know it on Earth. Mm-hmm. He is a higher intelligence being. It's just an amazing thing. You know, my power animal is the mountain lion, and, you know, so I will see the mountain lion. And I've also had these beautiful experiences with buffalo, because buffalo is the spirit animal of prayer. And so I will see that. And then, you know, the deer will appear in your out-of-body experiences as a symbol of grace. Mm-hmm. You know, animals will be a big part of your out-of-body experiences. They are very much a part of that. Their presence has great meaning in your journeys. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
And there is a purity to them that I think would do us some good to get to know and to be in contact with that. Let's go to the phone here. And on the phone, you're on the air with Marilynn Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Heather. Good evening, Marilyn. It's Mike in Montana.
Well, look who it is. Well, trouble is in the house now.
I don't know about it. I've been having trouble all night with my internet, so
have you?
You may have covered this. Yeah, it's just been blanking out on me, and
that's weird.
Losing shows and everything, and I'm just freaking out. But anyway, I think it's local. I wanted to ask a question. I sent it to Heather earlier. I don't know if you got a chance to read that, but anyway, my question is, if somebody goes out of body and then passes away during their out-of-body experience, does that make them a ghost?
No, actually. First of all, most people will not die because they're having an out-of-body experience. So that's really important to differentiate. What makes a person a ghost is a soul who becomes lost, and it's usually because they're attached to something in their past that they are unwilling to let go of or unable to let go of. Sometimes people become ghosts due to because they died very quickly and they need assistance in crossing over, and we call them lost souls. And there are a lot of spirits involved in helping them to cross over. But no, a person would not, first of all, having an out-of-body experience does not cause someone to die, so that's important to know. And if someone were to die because they were dying in their sleep, that would not cause them to become a ghost either. There's a whole lot, if you're interested in knowing more about the cause of why people become ghosts or lost souls, I have a book on that subject. It's in the Mystic Knowledge series called Ghosts and Lost Souls. And you can download that for free at outofbodytravel.org. If you go to Out of Body Books, look for the Mystic Knowledge series, scroll down to about the middle of the page, and you'll find that series. And that gives you a lot of information about a lot of the different scenarios that lead a soul to that status, and what kinds of things actually help souls, and the things you can do to help them, and also to prevent it from happening to ourselves.
Yeah. Wow. God, that's so helpful. My God. Well, thank you very much for the call. I did see your question, Mike. But I gotta tell you, it's way better to take your call and hear your voice and get it this way on the air. I mean, this is the radio way. Thank you very, very much for your call. That's exactly how I would like to do that. And fascinating, absolutely fascinating, because, I just did a show about hauntings last night, and I'm very tempted to take a copy of your book, download it, and send it to my friend Keith Linder, who is experiencing, I guess, a very inconvenient haunting, let's say.
Yes.
And that might help him get some answers as to why all of that is going on with him. I do worry about him. I care about him. And he's been going
that
through
might help
this
him
for a
to
long
identify.
time.
Yeah, it might help him to identify some of what's happening.
Okay. All right. Well, very, very helpful. All right. Let's go to North American Skype, and you're on the air with Marilynn Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Heather, my queen, this is Marcus in Sublimity.
Well,
how are you?
You're on the air. I'm just fine. All I had to get was a drink of water, and that set me right once again. I'm sorry. It was so embarrassing.
I want to share something with you. As of 9:15 Tuesday, June 8, 2020, I have finished writing and the first editing pass for Antebellum, volume the first of the War Queen saga. It's done.
Wow. Man.
Wow, indeed. I feel like I've given birth to a baby after a 5-year pregnancy, but it's wonderful.
It sort of is that way. Anything creative is sort of that way. Of all people in the world, when it comes to making albums, believe it or not, Ozzy Osbourne used to say that making a new album was sort of like giving birth. So, you're not entirely off on your description there. Even talented musicians go through the same process.
Excellent. I remember talking to you about this project before, and the offer stands. I've got a copy edited and clean enough to email, and I will happily send you a copy for your review, should you want it.
I'd love to see that. Yes, you know where to find me, right? My email address?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I got your email address. It'll be in the email tonight. The question I have, going back closer to the topic at hand, also relates both to you and to Marilynn.
Okay.
When you astrally project and you meet a discorporate spirit, does that spirit indicate that what they experience on the other side of the veil is consistent with what they expected or what they learned from their out-of-body projections and astral travel? Or is it, oh, hell, I was fooling myself, it's really a pit of hell, don't go there?
Well, Marilynn.
What you usually see is, yes, they do match up those types of things. The things that people will say that didn't match up are often like whatever their belief systems might have been, like different types of faith systems, or like different things that, like, well, I believed this and these little things might have been different than what I thought they were. Those kinds of things, definitely, people are shocked by the overwhelmingness, the vastness of what the heavens really have to offer. What St. Paul said, eye has not seen and ear has not heard, what God has prepared is really what we see. I work with a lot of souls who are crossing over. So I work with a lot of afterlife journeys. And the biggest thing is that it is very, especially when you're dealing with people who had no idea what to expect after death, it's totally different than what they expected. Because there's a lot of learning processes, there's a lot of stages, there's a lot of things like that. People who have had out-of-body experiences and things like that, it's very much in line with what they expected. Just like you'll hear with people who have had near-death experiences, they're no longer afraid, and when they cross over, it's very similar to what they experienced the previous time. People who were a part of different faith systems, there will be things that are different than what they expected. So there's a little bit of variation there, but in general, people who've had experiences are a little more prepared, I think, than those who haven't.
Yeah. I can say from my own near-death experience that, and thank you, Marcus, very much for the great question. I can say from my own near-death experience that when I ended up over there, it was, what is the simplest way I could put this? It's way better than we would have thought.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's probably the simplest way I can put that. And being, the type of person I am with the set of beliefs that I have, I was convinced that I'm going to end up, lockstep with Satan way down there in hell. That's where I'm going. And that is not true at all. I did not end up there. And the fear of that, I realized how silly it was to even have that thought process. I realized, oh my gosh, it was so earthly and so silly. It's way better than we would think, I suppose.
And I know, like, even when I had my near-death experience, too, I was taken on this, panoramic journey through all these vistas of these spheres of heaven, and it was just, it really was so beyond expression. And, having talked to many people who've had these near-death experiences, it's so beyond words, really, for most of them.
Yeah.
And for myself as well, it's hard to put into words what we experienced. It was so beautiful, and so far beyond what even the word heaven describes.
Yeah. I'm with you.
It's just not even within that word. It doesn't describe it because it's really like so beyond that. It was so infinite, and so many worlds, so many beautiful worlds, so I think, yes, it's, and, listening to, the music that just emanates from the heavens, that it's just this, there's so much, everything is an emanation of beauty,
Yeah.
the music, the colors, the light, the beings, everything, the angelic creatures, everything is just an emanation of beauty.
Yeah, there's far more love there than we are prepared for, because maybe in this world where we're at, this waking, tangible world, maybe we are unprepared for it because we don't experience that much love while we're here. And when we get over there, it's almost made up of this love energy, and there's so much love and contentment and acceptance, and it really is not anything like what we have here. But what I hope is through out-of-body experiences, we can bring a little heaven down here to earth.
Exactly. And you've said it perfectly, because everything is made up of love. And one of the things I have been told is that every time, because I've had thousands of these experiences, every time we have this experience, we're bringing a little bit of heaven back to earth. So when you become an out-of-body traveler, and you just imagine that every single time you're bringing a little bit more of heaven back to earth, and that everything is created out of love, and that's what you're doing. You're bringing some of that back to earth every time you go there. Then you kind of get a sense of why this is the key to everything, and why vibration is the key to knowledge. Knowledge is not information. Knowledge is vibration, and vibration is made up of this love that creates all of that beauty that is in this place that we're talking about.
Well, the world could use some of that for sure. On the phone, you're on the air with Marilynn Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Heather. Hello, Marilyn. This is Maker.
Hi.
Well,
Hi.
Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening.
Hi.
I did have a question.
Okay.
In many forms of divination, there's sort of a answer override for people will be asking a question, but that's not the answer they really need. Does that happen in an out-of-body experience where perhaps the answer that you really need, not asking that question, can be presented?
Oh, how interesting.
Yes, absolutely. And that is, excellent question, by the way, because that is one of the ways in terms of what I was trying to say earlier, which is this is how we accelerate and bypass so much of, the dross of the journey, where we just go right to the point. So yes, we get the answer we need rather than the answer we think we need. We go directly to the point of where we need to go rather than, so we're letting God lead the journey, not ourselves. Because, we think we know what we need, but we don't. I always tell people, don't try to direct your journey. Let God do it, because we don't know what we need to know.
So it really is wisdom's door.
Yes, it is wisdom's door. And the thing is that we don't realize, we think we know what we want to see and what we want to do. But what happens is when we let God lead the journey, we are going to see things that are so far beyond what we could ever imagine, because God is so much greater than anything we could ever imagine. And so if you let God lead that journey, you are going to be surprised by beauty, and you are going to be surprised by wisdom, and you're going to be surprised by so many things. And yes, you are going to be directed exactly where you need to be going, and you're not going to be wasting time on the wrong question or the wrong answer. It's going to be, right where you need to go.
Well, and thank you very much for that. Gosh, talk about what you need. That, I think, is the question we needed tonight. All the questions have been very, very good. And I did see Mike in Montana's question earlier. He kind of beat me to it. But a comment that I got from Maker way earlier in the evening was, this is not the conversation I expected. You've got my attention here. And it's never going to be the conversation you expected, Maker, just to answer that comment for you. But you keep talking about God tonight, and that, I don't know how that lands on some ears out there, but what I would say to that is anybody who maybe has a preconceived notion about that, or maybe somebody out there who might have an idea about established or organized religions, what I would say to that is learn about God from God. Get in touch with that for yourself. That's the only way, Marilynn, that I can think of for people to truly know something that is unknowable, a spirit that is almost unknowable, is to, transcend what you might think you know about this being called God, and
yes,
get in touch with him yourself. And that is going to teach you volumes, absolute volumes from it. And then you will know for yourself. And that transcends, books and churches and what somebody tells you need to be doing if you are allowed to drink coffee or whatever, organized religions tell us what we're supposed to be doing. Get in touch with the source, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not very eloquent with this here, but get in touch with the source, and then, that will transcend any preconceived notions you may have about this great and huge and almost unknowable, mysterious spirit up there, God, that wants to know us. There's a spark of him in each one of us. That's what gives us the spark of life. And if we help people, Marilynn, tonight to do that, we have done some good.
Yep.
I mean, would you say any of that is inaccurate? I'm sure you could have probably said it a little better, but
well, I would say, this comes back to the prophets, saints, mystics, sages, and ascetics. You want to know God, get to know his friends. When you want to get to know somebody, get to know their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And his friends have left their words in writing before they left this world and ascended into the higher spheres.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow, that is so profound. Thank you. Gosh, thank you. Well, if you don't mind, maybe a couple more calls. I've got them standing by. I hate to end the show with anybody just on hold who has been waiting to get on. On North American Skype, you're on the air with Marilynn Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Heather. Hello, Marilynn.
Good evening.
I've had a question about traveling. OBE style. I'm able to do it very easily to places that I've physically been in my past, but I'm kind of jealous of a friend who used to be able to do it just by looking at a picture of a place. Is there any way to develop that and further that ability?
Ooh.
Well, you might study remote viewing, because that's kind of a remote viewing technique. Have you ever studied remote viewing?
No, I have not.
Have you considered maybe taking a class on remote viewing, because that is something that might help you to do that?
Okay, sounds excellent. Yeah, I can go back to any place I've ever been to physically, and I guess because of the senses, it's easy to go there. But she was able to look at a picture of a place, and within a week she could travel there and tell me all about it and what it was like, and it was just like taking a vacation without having to leave home. So I was always kind of like jealous of that situation.
Yeah, well, no,
I would too. Always you always have the opportunity to think of the place when you're out of body, and so you can do that as well. But that is a very remote viewing type of technique, and so taking a remote viewing course might help you to do that as well. But both things are worth trying for sure.
Yeah, and I might add there are a lot of good videos on YouTube, by the way, on remote viewing. So
that's true. Very true.
You probably wouldn't have to pay